All right, and then moving on to the President's report and presentation of Spokane County Bar special recognition. We're going to do that. We have a lunch planned later today to recognize certain individuals that were identified to us by the Spokane County Bar, and one particular individual to get a particular award that we will discuss then. For purposes of the President's report, we are doing these hybrid meetings, as you can see, and we are proceeding forward with trying to get back to meeting in person, safely under the COVID restrictions and the state guidelines that allow us to gather in large rooms and socially distanced between 10 feet or so. We're wearing masks, and we're following all the protocols to ensure a safe meeting. And as I mentioned earlier, I think this is our new normal. We're going to be doing this for a while, perhaps with masks, as we transition back to normal. And then even then, we will probably have a mix of Zoom meetings and in-person meetings in the future. I think that allows flexibility for folks who are from around the state who do not want to necessarily travel for these meetings. And this is perhaps the silver lining to the COVID, that we are now operating under a different technology and probably what people will be doing in the future anyway. Governor Grabicki, I see your hand. Did you want to talk about that particular issue?
Yeah, I had a question. Are we planning to meet in Boise and in Portland in the next couple of months?
We're meeting in Portland in July, and we're meeting in Boise, I believe, in August.
I don't have any particular discomfort about Portland, but living in Spokane, we get thorough coverage of what's going on in Idaho. And I don't think Idaho is a safe place at all, and won't be in August. People over there aren't wearing masks. The legislature is in revolt and wants to ban people from wearing masks. It's crazier than Texas. And the idea of going to Boise at this time with the beliefs that state has, to me, is nutso.
All right, note your thoughts and concerns are noted, Governor Grabicki, that Idaho may be as crazy as Texas. On the other hand, Oregon, I believe is safe, and we'll confront Oregon first, and then we'll confront Boise. I imagine this will be a discussion topic on our executive committee at some point. So we'll leave that for another day. Last week, I believe, was or the week before, Executive Director Nevitt and I met with the Supreme Court at the Supreme Court's invitation to discuss the climate survey that we've discussed in prior meetings. This is a continuation of a discussion we've had with the court going back over 2 or 3 years, in which the court would like us to report back periodically on our efforts to get along with each other and get along with staff and work toward the better good of the organization. It was a very good meeting, in my opinion. We've already reported to the court twice. We had another report due, I think, in just a month or so. The court has agreed that we'll have until August to make another report. That'll give us additional time to have our personnel committee consider the climate survey and then the recommendations that come out of Jeff Turner and his organization to assist us in continuing our efforts there. One thing of note during that meeting, and as I said, it was a very good meeting. I think they understand that we are working toward considering information that the staff has been generous to share with us about their feelings. That's valuable information. It's information that we can use to better our organization, and this is a great opportunity for us. Justice Madsen mentioned that as part of our process, perhaps not necessarily with the personnel committee, but in some capacity, we should reconsider the governance task force report that came out several years ago and began in, I believe, 2012, and then the report was 2016. I personally believe that kind of fits within the long range strategic planning council that we're putting together. That might be a good place for it to look at it, see what recommendations were made. There was a Supreme Court response to it that would also be considered within that council. And so that's something that we may be taking up there. And then finally, like I said earlier, later today at noon, we will be recognizing one individual that will remain secret until then, and then a group from the Spokane County Bar of a task force of folks who are challenging systemic racism in our regional justice system. And so we'll have a short presentation about that. Okay, with that, I'll conclude my president's report and I'll turn it over to Executive Director Nevitt for her Executive Director's report.